got for backstory here? Zero summary. Oh, I was about to say, like, wow, these summaries are really short, but multiple pages. Okay, well, key terms. Society of Ouroboros, a mysterious organization that operates from the shadows across the continent, is led by the Grand Master, who commands 7 Anguis, who in turn command a legion of enforcers. Society possesses advanced technology and makes use of flying fortresses and hordes of archaisms. Each enforcer possesses incredible combat abilities or other fearsome unearthly powers. Despite their wide international presence, they have managed to avoid becoming a household name. Not even the Bracer Guild has a clear understanding of the organization's plans or goals. This actually says a lot for how little it says. Wow, this actually has a lot of characters in it. Wald, that's his name. Wald. Yin. Wow, and they just say right there, Yin's true identity is Rixia Mao. Well, yeah, Shizuku. I forgot about her. I have no idea who this guy is. Oh. That guy. I remember that guy. Yeah. That's the same spelling as Home Chick Slice's name. How confusing. They shouldn't have done that. Alright, let's go to the Orbital store and make some quartz. Oh, there you are, Lloyd, and you brought some fresh faces with you, I see. Yeah, these are the 2 newest members of the SSS. Nice to meet you. I'm Noel Seeker. Lazy Hemisphere. Pleasure's mine. Incidentally, I hear you and Lloyd have known each other since you were little. I'd love to hear about what he was like in his early days, if you don't mind my asking. Oh, you bet I don't. I've got a story or 2 about him that'll shock the pants off you, believe me. I never should have introduced you two. You're done plotting my future embarrassment. Could we get back to business now? You were going to show us how to use our Enigma 2 orbments, right? Oh yeah, sorry, slipped my mind for a sec. Let's begin. I'm sure you all know you're now using a brand new model of the battle orbment, the Enigma 2, or the Enigma II. It's a direct upgrade from your previous Enigmas, manufactured courtesy of the Epstein Foundation. The biggest difference it has from the old models is the center slot. The quartz that goes there is referred to as a master quartz. They're the ones with the patterns engraved on them, right? Exactly, you can't miss them. A master quartz differs from a regular quartz in that it has the potential to develop and grow. By defeating enemies while it's set in your Enigma 2, it'll gain experience and become more powerful over time. Wow, it sounds almost supernatural. Yes, it's as though the Master Quartz itself is actually alive. So I assume we're in for a bit of a lecture on its underlying principles or something. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm no researcher. I just know the basics of how it works. Maybe grow wasn't the right word, though. You can think of it more like you're drawing out the hidden power inside the quartz, and I feel like that's worse. Anyway, I can at least explain the essentials of using your Enigma 2s. Not so much the theory, but the real-life practical know-how. Before we get to that though, here, these are for you. Pixie and Crow. So this is a master quartz. It certainly feels different from a regular quartz. Are you sure you don't want us to pay for these though? Don't worry about it, the CPD provided them to me for your training specifically. By the way, master quartz can't be synthesized at normal workshops, and they can't be mass produced either. The few we do have were shipped directly from the Foundation. Basically, we're only able to sell one master quartz of each type, so handle yours with care. I see, so they're pretty rare then. Do you have any tips for us before we use them in the field, Wendy? Sure. First, could you all equip your master quartz for me? Doesn't matter who uses which, just let me know once everyone's set. Oh, and while the master quartz do have elemental types, their slots have no restrictions. In other words, anyone can use any master quartz. I see, that's very convenient. What are we waiting for then? Let's get them equipped. So I was watching... I feel like I can't say this, but I'm going to say it. I was watching somebody play Trails of Cold Steel 1, and they had already played the Crossbell games. And let me just say, it was because Trails of Cold Steel 1 comes after this game, but like it comes after in the sense of it's the next game to play, but not necessarily like in chronological order. I think Trail of Cold Steel 1 takes place the same time as either the Crossbell games or this game. I don't know specifically which section of time, but man, was it a struggle to avoid like spoilers for this game. Like anytime I heard the word Azure, it's like mute. Unfortunately, I did get I wouldn't necessarily say spoiled, but one thing did come up that I knew about but forgot, and would have been a surprise for me again, but I was instead reminded of by watching that playthrough, which I guess I'll mention that when it occurs. It's not like a big deal or anything like that. It's not like a story spoiler or anything like that. But I certainly would have wished to have kept that forgotten. That way when the moment comes, we'll be like, oh! Alrighty, you've all got a Master Quartz equipped now. Good work. What's next, Wendy? Nothing big. You just need to get some live practice in so you can see how they work for yourselves. I mean, you want us to use them in actual combat? Sure do. I know you and Noelle already have some experience, Lloyd, but humor me anyway. Worst case, you get some extra practice in. That sounds fair enough. You want us to focus on any particular locations or a specific number of battles? Not really. I'll leave the who, what, and where of things up to you. Just win one fight without turning tail and running away. That'll be enough. I think we can manage that. Well, Lloyd, any ideas on where we should go? One of our support requests involved clearing out some monsters in Mason Imelda, didn't it? We could kill two birds with one stone that way. Good idea. It'll be a lot easier than heading toward the highway. Great. Sounds like you've got a place in mind. Oh, and before I forget, I've got one more quartz for you to take along. What's this for? Just another little gift from CPD headquarters. If you set it in a normal slot, you'll be able to use a brand new art for the Enigma to analyze. Knowing is half the battle, as they say. Try it out in combat and you'll see what I mean. I hear you loud and clear. Without Tio around, we'll need to rely on arts and items to analyze enemies in the meantime. Alright then, take care out there. Wouldn't want you to slip up on a training mission, am I right? And don't forget, you can come back and tune your orbments or synthesize some new quartz whenever you want. Yep. Yep. I know how to use the Sepith stuff. Alright. Question is, what do I want? Let's see. Opening the slots is pretty cheap. But obviously, upgrading is going to be expensive. See. So you can open up 2 more and be done. You can open up 1 more and be done. And you can open up 3 more and be done. And you can open up. Why do you have the same? It's a little awkward. Let's open up one of yours. Since you're going to be a spellcaster, I need you to have all the things. Okay. Thankfully, I still have a little bit left. Give me an action. The go with an HP 1. Go with an attack. So they're still keeping the plus percent minus percent on these. Interesting. I'd like to get another hit. And I guess I'll get an evade. Maybe 2 evades. Alright, so let's give you a mind, evade, and an HP. Now you have the ability to heal. Get rid of that. Oh, you already have evade. Okay, never mind. Let's give you an action. Give you the hit. Maybe I went a little overboard on unlocking the slots, but we'll get some more of that stuff later. It's fine. I don't think there's any new shops up here. Go ahead and save. Can't go out to the Crossbell highways. So let's go to Amelda. This is the old Ravash compound. Should be totally empty by now, though. Hey, you, what are you up to over there? Who are you? I run a real estate agency in Crossbell City. The state government co-signed this property to my firm. As such, I oversee its management. I'll have to ask you that you refrain from trespassing on the premises. I don't want any trouble, you see. I transferred custody of the building. Come to think of it, I recall my grandfather mentioning this would happen. The government considers this place too big of a powder keg to leave unattended, seeing as it was owned by the mafia. That makes sense, I suppose. Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. We're from the CPD. We came down this alley as part of our patrol. You're with the police. Well, my apologies then. And thank you for going out of your way to patrol this area. So what brings you here? Were you about to do a routine inspection of the building? Well, as it happens, we've actually decided to put the property up for sale soon. You're selling the whole compound? Yes, a number of businesses have expressed an interest in taking occupancy for some time now. One requested to negotiate today. I came to meet with them, in fact. Are the businesses interested in moving into a building once controlled by the mafia? That can't mean anything good, can it? We're taking that into account, of course. But considering the size of this building, the upkeep costs are astronomical. We have no reason to turn down anyone who's willing to take it off our hands. Real estate is a business like any other. Of course, you're going to sell it to the highest bidder, no questions asked. Sure, but I'd still like to know who that bidder is. We'll just be in the way if we stick around, though. Let's get moving. Yes, let's. No, get in there. I want to know who it is. I don't see any like treasure chests or anything. No. We'll talk to Home Chick Slice. Welcome. My, look at what the alley cat dragged in. It's the SSS. It's been far too long. It's good to see you too, Imelda. You're as energetic as ever. I wish. From where I'm sitting, things have been boring as sin lately. Ravash has been shut down, and you lot have been away on break too. Even my information broker on the Orbital Network's gone and closed up shop. Information broker on the Orbital Net. Must mean Yona. I guess she isn't too happy about him going back to the Foundation. Oh, what's this? I see a couple of unexpected faces there with you. Might you be the newest batch of SSS recruits, perhaps? A member of the CGF and the leader of a street gang. Now, there's a recipe for some intrigue. Wait, how did you... It's sounding to me like you don't even need an information broker. Who said I only had one source, my dearies? What a fascinating old lady. By the way, I have a little something for you. Think of it as a welcome back gift. Here, take it. A key. That's right, Buttercup. You can use it to enter my downtown property, the delightful Mason Imelda. Oh right, I remember seeing that name on the side of the dilapidated old building. Hey, it's not dilapidated. In fact, it's so lovely that a swarm of monsters couldn't wait to set up house there. Still, I won't complain if you feel the urge to evict them. We only came here because you put up an extermination request for the place. Starting to feel like a thinly veiled demand, actually. No one's twisting your arm, but I know you'll do it anyway. Have fun, boys and girls. Alright. 80,000? Was this expensive in the first game? Holy freaking cow. 80,000? I'm not gonna get this anytime soon. Jesus. Oh, this is helpful. Not the button I wanted to press, but this is helpful. Why is the high speed thingy way up there? There we go. Yeah, so they're not gonna let me do this one right now. Times department store, employees only. Huh. Seems like I still know the layout of this place. What do we have here? Oh yeah, the exchange shop. I forgot about this place. 9 Valley. There's always something shady about this place. I see Jingo is running the counter as usual. The shop has connections to Crossbell City's black market, right? Rumor in the CGF was that you could buy weapons and ammunition here. Well, for what it's worth, this shop will cut you a more honest deal than most in the underworld. But the owner, now, there's a woman you wouldn't cross twice. That's one way to put it. Anyway, we shouldn't linger around. If we have business here, let's get it done and get out. Okay. I think I do have a lighter. I don't have a turbo fry. What? Oh, you have to cook to trade stuff? What is this? Jiggly pudding. Use sucker foods. And fish too? Solar pendulum. What the heck is that? Alright, I need a stellar pendulum, an emerald, and midnight delight for some evergreen. What is going on? Poison and fighter. What is fighter? By 1 to 2? Come on. Come on. I need ingenuity. I need catfish and shield breaker. Do you want the dragon vision? Shackle. Enemies attacked on the field are slowed. That's interesting. Arts range. Okay. Leaping frog coin. I do need myself an eagle eye. Voice breaker. Shroud. Enemies less likely to notice you on the field. Find 3. Oof. It'll take some time to get. This stuff's so expensive to trade. Oh my gosh. Go check out Trinity. Get some little bit of talk from Wazy here. Welcome. How many in your party? Wait, Wazy in the SSS too. Did you just welcome us? This place becomes more like a legitimate business by the day. How are you holding up, Abbas? Doing well for yourselves? No complaints. It's good to have you back. Why not make yourself at home while you're here? So, Wazy, how are you liking the special support section? I think this is the first time we actually get a picture of him instead of just seeing his sprite. I suppose it's a good fit after all. My chief and colleagues are pretty lenient. They'll even let me work as casually as I please. I don't recall us letting you treat this job like an all-expenses-paid vacation. That's right, Wazy. Even as an associate member, you're still part of the police, you know. Listen, this is just the way I do things. You should all take a lesson from me and loosen up a bit. All that stiffness can't be good for your joints. You're unbelievable sometimes. It would appear that you're already fitting in. I see no problems in that case. Dealing with this guy is nothing but problems. How did you do it, Abbas? Oh, actually, I've been meaning to ask, was everyone in the Testaments really okay with Wazy joining the SSS? I've been curious as well. Didn't it come as a surprise when your leader decided to leave for the Force? Whether or not we approved is of little consequence. What Wazy says goes, no exceptions. That didn't answer the question. Abbas has the patience of a saint. Well, it was definitely a bombshell, but we all came around after talking it over. All of us have our reasons for being here, whether it's to stick it to our parents or get away from a broken home. Wazy gave us a place to belong, so if he's chosen a new path, then we'll support him every step of the way. As a matter of fact, this is a good chance for us to start learning how to look after ourselves. We've made a lot of strides since our days of doing nothing but fighting. Managing Trinity has helped us mature. Still, it does get lonely here without Wazy. I can see how. I respect your guys' positivity about this. To be fair, I'd already been leaving Abbas in charge of the Testaments for the most part. With or without me, I'm sure they'll manage to keep on just fine. And there you have it. Special support section. We will leave Wazy in your care for the time being. No need to worry about us, Wazy. Focus on your current work instead. Way ahead of you, Abbas. I'm inexperienced in serving and protecting the public, so please be gentle with me. We could just leave you here at Trinity, you know. But we won't. Welcome to the team yet again, Wazy. May leave the Testaments in my care, Wazy. Focus on what you need to do instead. Thanks, I will. I'll be popping in every once in a while, so you'll have to keep the bar afloat on your own. I'd hate to see one of the city's coziest places to relax go under. Understood. To have a kind of an odd dynamic. I wonder how long they've known each other. I got this place. Well, I'll be. The SSS is back in business. I ain't gonna keep that out. When you see, well, I'll be, that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. Hello, Mr. Guillaume. It's been a while, sir. Guilami. That actually doesn't sound too bad. No need to be so polite, kiddos. So the rumors are true, eh? The leader of the Testaments really has joined your crew. Can't lie, it's an odd fit. I aim to surprise. That reminds me, now that I'm part of the police, you can't say no to my modification request anymore, can you? We didn't hire you so that you could get local business perks, you know. Well, I suppose I can. But as long as it's not for picking fights, I'd be happy to give you a hand. So this is Guillaume Factory, huh? I've heard you specialize in weapon upgrades and orbital device repairs. Hey, you must be new too, Missy. I take my work seriously, meaning I only mod things within reasonable safety limits. Finally got my business permit too, so don't expect me to do anything outside the straight and narrow. Stop by any time you get your hands on some materials and I'll see what I can make with them. Oh, you know what? I bet you I didn't get anything from importing because I didn't do any side quests. Probably got to get up to a certain rank to start getting stuff to import over. That probably makes the most sense. We'll be sure to. At the factory, you can use U materials and other to upgrade your equipment. Speak to Guillaume. Okay. Double twister. So you still have to unequip these things. I feel like I should do this. It was 200 for you? Oh, it's actually not a giga upgrade. Then again, I don't need the U material right now. I think maybe I'll use like 2. Oh, I'm poor. Oh, there's shops here. Can I exchange Sepith here? No. If I go anywhere else, I'll get into this long cutscene about stuff. Exchange. $20 Mira per? What is it? 150 for both, so I need 300? I go talk to Wald? I don't feel like I need to go talk to Wald. Although I am curious. Oh no, it's 180. Ah, okay. We're just gonna buy one. I wanted to get the leather fists upgraded, but you can see that is not going to work out. Alright, I'll go talk to Wald. I'm curious. And I guess it's on the way. You guys. It's been a while, hasn't it? Since the cult incident, if I'm remembering right. Nice to see you again. Have you been well since returning to the Saber Vipers? Yeah, I guess. They said the reason I kept picking fights with Wald and the others was because of that drug. The guys made sure I wouldn't forget it either. Got my butt whooped pretty good as punishment. You did, huh? At least they forgave you. Wazy, so it's true. You really did join up with the cops. Because of you, that Wald. Wald? Did something happen to him, Dino? I guess the least I could do was warn you, seeing as you did help me out a few months back. Wald's been 10 kinds of pissed off lately. If you value your lives, stay away from downtown. Is there a particular reason he's so upset? Yeah, it's standing right next to you. Sure, the Testaments haven't caused any trouble since the cult incident, but Wazy's ditched the downtown district and climbed into the pig pen. He didn't even bother settling things with Wald. Well, that's it. In other words, Wald's angry that his rival left him behind, is that right? Understand how he feels, but is that really Wazy's fault? Lovely. Nothing lovely about it, you broccoli-haired bastard. Do you even realize what you've done? It's your fault that Wald hardly ever shows up at Ignis anymore. That's his prerogative, and I'm exercising mine by working with the SSS. Problems of the Saber Vipers are no concern of mine. You have no right to point the finger at me. In that case, get the heck out of my sight. Don't blame me for what Wald'll do. Wald'll do if he catches you here, Wazy, or any of you. I think that's our cue. We'll be leaving now. That might be for the best. Goodbye, Dino. Alright, I guess we ain't gonna chat with him. Let's save before we go in here. Oh, it's still the same enemies in here? The arts do have sparkle. What a sucker. You know, I do have to admit that Wazy was a pretty cool character in the first game. At least, that's what I remember. Could be wrong. But a thought came to mind. Let's see. I feel like these guys are giga annoying, so we'll go after them first. I feel like we're getting a lot of experience. That's right, give me all that. The treasure chest activates its power to stop time. Fortunately, it can't do anything either, so nothing happens while you read this text. Obligatory life is hard. Sakafu. Oh, and of course, this always happens. When you get the back attack, it's like, oh, we'll give you one to three enemies. But when you get the other attack, you know, you get back attacked, or you just normal attack them or whatever. It's you know, we're gonna give you 5 enemies. Suckers. Got some movement. Oh, Hunter, you're not gonna do 1200 damage. Two out of 61. I shall await your answer at midnight. From the heart, my heart to yours, Jubilee. With the letter fully read, Cyril sighed, returned it back to its accompanying chest, set upon his lap, then sunk further into his chair, long legs spread wide in a most undignified manner. That's an excerpt from Trails from the Chest. Yo, Noel is so good. Wow, a sequel to Trails in the Chest? I can't believe they got a chest-selling author to work on this game. It's so good. Let's see, movement and speed. I want to give that to Noel, but unfortunately, I need to give some movement to Lloyd. A little too slow. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. And now I can't hit them all. Sucker fool. My chat bot is breaking again. Why does that? Maybe it's time to get a new chat bot. I've had my eye on one for a while now that Kitafuki uses. Maybe I'll spend some time to look into that one some more. See if I want to do it. Wow, you have an area impede? That's pretty cool. You get 4 that way. You get 4 that way. I mean, impeding doesn't do anything, so... Let's say, didn't you have like a line attack? Let's see, triple burst. We've got the heal and CP. Wild Swan 2s and impede and mute. Got the area cross mirage. I remember cross mirage being very nice. It looks like it's still nice. Except you missed. Noelle is going to carry this game. I am telling you. Oh, come on. Someone keeps stealing the wheels off the 1st Division's patrol cars. They're working tirelessly to bring them to justice. It took like 2 fractions of a millisecond to understand where they were going with that. But I picked up on it. I didn't pick up on it immediately, but I picked up on it 2 fractions of a millisecond after that. Oh, you have move now, which means I can give you choose. Oh no, I hit the wrong target! It doesn't matter all too much, but no, it matters. Wasted time. Not optimizing properly. It's because I used the joystick again. Ooh, blind? An advertisement is pasted to the bottom side of the lid. You'd have to be blind not to see all Mason Imelda has to offer. For availabilities, contact Madame Imelda at Imelda's Antique Shop. What wonderful advertising. Interesting. So even though they're in different lines, you can't equip them. Huh. Huh. Very, very interesting. Actually, let's give this... Oh, you don't have any more slots. I feel like blind is probably the better choice for Noelle, but that probably doesn't matter too much. Just do a safety save real quick. Book entitled Simple Seasonal Recipes is simply lying on the shelf. Okay. I know there's cooking in this game because I've seen the ingredients and I've seen cooked things. This is like the same boss as last time. I guess I have to figure out cooking first. See what we can do. You missed? Don't you have a hit equipped? Oh my gosh, 1,000 damage. Probably a waste of a crit turn, actually, in hindsight here, but no, stuff happens. She can't hit herself. I think she could hit herself in the first game. Maybe? I don't remember. Oh, that's annoying. Just got even more annoying. And less annoying. That actually worked out so well. Could have been better, but it was also, destroyed that fight, so we take it. Craft book strike. A craft book. Seems a little before our time, mildly speaking. Oh look, there's an attack in here that's designed to be used by 2 people in sync. Don't you think Lloyd and Wazy might be able to recreate this? Hey, you just might be right about that. Want to give it a shot, Wazy? It'd be my pleasure. Strike heaven! So I need to remember that that's there. And then come back here. So let's go to the restaurant area. I did not want to go into this area, but maybe this is the place I can get my cooking thing. I'm going to grab a seat wherever you like. You have a cooking book? A cooking book. This teapot here has the biggest handle ever. Looks like I need to save and mark.